to regenerative self transformation. And I've written a number of other books along the way, but this particular book is from a perspective of being an energy healer. And this show is about the importance of balancing the feminine and the masculine energies that we carry, the yin and the yang, that we carry inside of ourselves. And this is one of the steps of awakening our prana and coming into our energy body. And I think that the breakthrough for us is to understand that we are actually bioelectric. And our electrical currents are based on a negative and a positive charge. And just like you think of a car battery, right? There's a negative and a positive. But for humans, that charge, the negative and the positive, is based on the feminine energy, the yin energy, and the yang energy, the masculine energy. And these are what connect to ignite. And so it's just so interesting to realize how important having ourselves in a balance of the feminine and the masculine is to our of the flow of our energy body, and actually our health and well-being. You can think of a car battery, as I said, and I don't know, for me, somehow just thinking of those charger cables, and then just thinking of it being the feminine and the masculine is really a bit of a stretch until you realize that we're human, it's biology. And if we don't have enough of the feminine inside of us or enough of the masculine inside of us, the car won't start. Our energy, in our case, the energy body doesn't move. And so we get less and less life force energy. So that if we think of our energy body as like a car engine, and its gas is our life force energy, then if the engine isn't going well, then we're just not getting enough life force energy. And what happens then is we just come into dis-ease, and we just don't thrive. But when our energy body is in flow, because our charge is good, we have a good yin yang balance. Is yin or yang, yang or yang? I'm so used to saying yang, but I'm trying to say yang. I'm told that's the correct way to say the masculine. But we're in good health when we're in we're in well-being when our energy is in yin yang and balance. And so it's a really fair question to ask. How do we? I mean, goodness gracious, if our yin yang balance absolutely matters for our well-being, we never would have thought of that before, right? Most of us, I mean, isn't part of our normal lexicon. And so the question is, how do we get out of yin yang balance? And then how do we get back in balance? And there are 4 areas that I want to go over to, and 2 of them are how we get out of balance, and 2 of them are how we can get back in balance. If we think of our connection to Mother Earth as the feminine energy and the Father Sun as the masculine energy, there's a real polarity with being on the planet with Mother Earth and Father Sun. But where most of the world is massively out of balance with the yin energy of Mother Earth, and that's throwing the entire planet actually out of kilter, including most of us in our lives. So you think of our relationship to the earth, to Mother Earth, and you think of people clear-cutting old-growth forests, for example, or you think of humans gobbling up the Earth's resources, or throwing plastics into the ocean. I just read the other day that the most plastic in the ocean comes from discarded fishing nets. And so we're in our abuse of Mother Earth, we are throwing our own yin balance out of whack, and it's almost cultural, and it's almost a collective out of balance in terms of our relationship to the earth. And so it's very devastating to see the abuse of the planet, and realizing actually we're mirroring the abuse of the yin energy in our own physicality, and throwing ourselves out of balance, and therefore our whole energy body engine isn't working as well. The next area where we get out of balance is in our relationship to our birth mother and our birth father. There's a sad but true, we are all born to unhealed mothers and unhealed fathers. There's no blame and shame. It just is the way that is, right? And we all become unhealed children as a result of that. And so that's another area where we come out, pretty profoundly out of balance with the yin and the feminine in ourselves and the masculine out of ourselves. And to give you a couple examples again, I have a client who was severely beaten by his father as a child. So he is way out of balance. He doesn't have healed father energy in him. So he's out of balance in his own masculine energy. And so he's not in well-being because he doesn't have enough, his car engine isn't working very well. He doesn't have enough of the masculine energy. Another example for a woman could be that she had a very domineering and critical mother. And so her feminine, that particular woman's feminine energy could be very depleted and not robust at all, because she was overwhelmed by the unhealed mother. And so what happens is that with that really profound depletion, it's there's the result is a really wounded ego, and it's an ego-based operating system that we work in when we work in the unhealed mother and unhealed father. Like the man who was beaten by his father is like, the world's not safe, I'm not good, I don't know what to do in order to not be hit. The woman who with the critical mother is like, I'm never good enough, all that kind of thing. And so the ego has to be healed in order to balance out the yin and the yang, to once again to get this car engine of our energy body going, because we're bioelectric. But the wonderful thing is that there's the love-based operating system also that helps us restore the imbalances that we have. You can heal the mother-father wounds this way. We can heal our connection to the earth. And the first way is connecting to our soul energy, and then we have a healed mother and a healed father on the soul level. And so we can ask and we'll be doing this in the meditation, we'll be asking our healed mother to fill the places where we're depleted of the unhealed mother. Because of the unhealed mother, we'll ask our soul father to bring healing to the part of us that's depleted because of the unhealed father energy we may be carrying. So it's almost like it's just almost such a breakthrough to feel like we can heal these deep childhood wounds by connecting to because the healed mother of my soul isn't the same as my birth mother. That healed mother, they're different energies, and the same with the father. The soul father is not the same as my birth father, for example. So that's one of the the love-based operating system. And the other love-based operating system that is even higher than that is connecting to the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, and of creation, right? It's the feminine aspect of creation and the masculine aspect of creation. And again, we'll be doing this in the meditation, where we bring in the flow of the current of the Divine Mother of everybody, the Divine Mother for all of us, and the flow and the current of the Divine Father. And those energies come to the places where we're wounded in ourselves, and they help us restore our yin and yang balance, the masculine and the feminine, so that we then can actually have the best chance of making our own energy body's charges function well, get our energy body flowing. And that drinks in life force energy, and then that life force energy flows to us. And it's that, again, is the love-based operating system. But it's very helpful to be mindful that our relationship to the Mother Earth is very yin-based, and it's very important for us to learn how to change our actions towards the Earth. And so now I'm excited to play a sound healing that's original to me and the wonderful sound healer Nick, Ranieri, who helps me with those, and he's one of my students as well. And there's a guided meditation in the middle of this that will help you restore your yin yang balance. And so I'm excited so take a few deep breaths and settle down, and you can have your eyes open or closed, but I'm going to play this now. I send love and gratitude to the heart of the earth. I send love and gratitude to the heart of the sun. I send love and gratitude to Mother Earth. I send love and gratitude to Father, Son. I send love and gratitude to my soul mother and divine feminine aspect of my higher self. I send love and gratitude to my soul father and the divine masculine aspect of my higher self. I send love and gratitude to the Divine Mother. I send love and gratitude to the Divine Father. I ask Mother Earth to anchor me down and help me be grounded. And I ask Mother Earth to bring me a healing. I ask Father Son to fill me with light, and I ask Father Son to bathe me in light. I ask to activate my Soul Mother to bring me a healing. I ask to activate my Soul Mother to bring me a healing. I ask to activate my Soul Father to bring me a healing. I ask to activate my Soul Father to bring me a healing. I ask the current of the Divine Mother, the sacred feminine aspect of Source, to come to me wherever it is needed and in the highest good. The current of the Divine Mother to come to me where it's needed. I ask the current of the Divine Father, the divine masculine aspect of Source, to come to me wherever it is needed and in the highest good. The Divine Father, a current of the Divine Father. And I ask these currents to fill up what is needed so that they come into equal balance. And I ask the currents of the Divine Mother and the Divine Father to come to me where they are needed and in the highest good, to fill and fill, to replenish where it's needed. people feel better having done that than they did before they started? Anybody want to share about how that felt for them? Diane?
When you called in the first healing, it was like I just got the tingles all.
Oh, fun.
It was great. I was like, wow, all right. Thank you. So that was amazing. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
No, that's great. Wonderful. Yeah, you look smiley, and that after a long day's work, it felt, that there's sort of a refresh of that. That's great. I could really feel the energy move through my system, and I just felt happier and happier as the time went on myself, actually. So, Kelly or JJ?
Yeah, I'll speak. I also felt the same. This is one of my favorites that you take us through, Annie. I just always feel so good. It just realigns everything. I do have a question for you. You also teach about reciprocity with Mother Earth, and I'm in Colorado right now, close to two of the fires that are burning.
Oh, geez, are you close to them? Wow.
Yeah. So, the air quality's bad, and there's ash on my car when I go outside. And, I asked Mother Earth for a healing, but I'm just curious. These are tough times with climate change and everything. So what practice or is there something separate or additional that you do to send healing to Mother Earth?
Well, I think that's a really nice question. In terms of this particular practice, and we talked about this, I think, in the first of this series, that you send love and gratitude to the heart of the earth, and you really feel it in your heart. You send this. She'll always send energy back to you. She just will. And that's the law of reciprocity, just in its full grace, right? It just feels so wonderful. I think that what I'd like to do is set up another time where we do the healing of the planet meditation. Mm-hmm. That those of you who are here, we all were in Sedona together doing a meditation there, and to do that, I think that would be fantastic. So, especially at a time when this is one of the hottest, or is the hottest summer on record, and everything else. So let's do that. So stay tuned, everybody that's watching, to look at the Awakening Prana channel, because I will put that up. We'll do that sometime in August. We'll make sure.
That'd be great. Thank you, Annie.
Yeah, thanks for thinking of that.
Well, I felt really good. And so another shameless plug for the Sedona retreat. I have my rocks from the mail.
And the yin and the yang rocks. Yeah.
Bring these out. And
oh my gosh, I wish I'd had mine. Good thinking.
Yeah. So I started out with the masculine one in my left hand and the feminine in my right hand, thinking, let's have them in opposite hands and see how that works. And I wasn't really feeling it. So I switched them, to the masculine side and the feminine side. And then I could really kind of feel the energy flowing as we were doing the meditation. So it was nice.
And just to fill people who are watching in the Sedona retreat that I led this year and the year before, we go to vortexes that are the divine feminine vortex energy and the divine masculine vortex energy. And oh my gosh, it's so powerful. The healing that happens for those that are needing, like one woman, she just had never felt connected to the divine masculine energy until she was in that vortex, which is the Courthouse Butte vortex, for those of you that know Sedona. And totally different. She's never been the same since, in the best of ways. Just really she came into such agency with herself and authority, carrying some more yang energy. She's an older woman too. It was, a lifetime of being depleted. And then there she was. It was really, really special to have that be there. And so that's one way that we can do that, is to go to the vortexes. So how about the whole analogy with the car and the engine? Is that making sense? Do people have questions about that?
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. Because if I knew nothing about this, which I didn't several years ago, and I came in, I would be lost. But you compare it to a car, not that I'm, any kind of mechanic, but, I have a basic understanding of how a car functions. And so that really does help kind of understand what we're doing and, what the ultimate goal is.
Well, the interesting thing to me is that's always hard to teach, because I want to help people make the leap, is that just like, with a car battery, you've got the negative clamp and the positive clamp, and you get that set. It's biology. It's the biology of the feminine energy and the masculine energy that do the same thing. And that it just is a bit of a stretch to realize that we need that energy. And there's a whole stretch of work called the exotonal grid work, which is basically is what inspired me to write Awakening Prana, the book, because we are profoundly dissociated from Mother Earth. And so if we don't have enough yin energy, we have become disconnected then to the main flow of source energy to us, because that car engine's not working, right? We don't have enough yin energy to make that car engine of our energy body work. So we're not drinking in source energy, life force energy. And so we're massively depleted on of that. And so it's just a very profound observation about the state of the planet, and that was really mirrored. Those planets mirroring our own depletion is really what it's mirroring. And so as we can regain that feminine energy, and at least we can get that from source, then we can our internal car engine starts working, and the feeling of well-being, and this regenerative medicine too. This is really the forefront of regenerative medicine, so that this is how we heal dis-ease in our modern culture, is being able to bring in that yin yang balance, to get that ignition of our own energy body to move. And life force energy is profoundly healing. So that's the great blessing of really having done a lot of research into the exotonal grids, because this connects us to then the whole grid system of creation, and we receive much more energy. And I think why, when I could look around and see each of you sort of become more radiant, that's why we were bringing in the energy we needed to get our own energy body moving, I think.
Yeah. And you talking about the example of the car and the battery. I got an electric vehicle recently, and it's all about regenerative braking. It's like when you're not pushing on the gas, my battery's recharging, and I can see on the screen, it's like,
yeah.
Charging. Yeah. So when you were talking about that, it's like, oh, my car does the same thing. When it slows down, it's actually recharging.
Oh, that's super nice. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a nice analogy. And the other thing about this system that we just went through, that meditation that I value so much, is that the mother and father wounds are so brutal, and people feel so overwhelmed, and like their life is just ruined because of them. And this gives so much hope that there's a way to restore oneself from, who doesn't have childhood trauma, and some more than others. And here's a way to, listening to this meditation that we just did would just in itself be a way towards healing those terrible wounds. So Wonderful. Well, any other thoughts or questions before we close down here?
Thank
I'll
you.
just throw out there when I'll never forget the first Sedona retreat that we went on. I was like, I don't have any father wounds. I don't have any father wounds because I didn't, you know, I had tons of mother wounds. And then when we were doing this part in Sedona, all of a sudden I realized, you know, I had this huge ex-husband wound. And what, you know, so that was enough to make me really resistant. I had to work really hard over the next couple of years to kind of balance out the masculine and the feminine. But one of the things that I thought was so fascinating that you and I talked about is because I always assumed I was deficient in the feminine because of my mother wounds, but I was deficient in the masculine. And I was like, how can that be? You know, I'm kind of go, 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 achieve, achieve, achieve. You know, I was in that world. And you said, well, you know, you might have been doing that, but the reason you were so exhausted all the time is because you were basically faking it. You didn't have it naturally to help you, you know, do all of that, which I just thought was fascinating. And when I got that balanced out, you know, I mean, as you get older, you have sleep issues or whatever, but I don't have that same kind of thing of just being exhausted by life.
And you're not having to compensate all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. I assumed I knew what was going on and I was totally wrong.
Yeah, no, it's so interesting that compensation, having to compensate for being diminished. And, you know, just a quick little anecdote about that man who had the father wound. He was a beautiful carpenter, just made wonderful furniture. And so he was very creative, but he couldn't bring it into the world, right? The piece of him that yang piece that would say, oh, I make great furniture. I'm going to bring it out to the world and I'm going to set up a shop or go to a fair or something. He couldn't do that part. And so he was really failing in his life, as it were, even though he made this gorgeous furniture, because he couldn't get it out in the world. And that's sort of a classic. You know, the yin is very creative and the masculine will put that right foot forward to go do things in the world. In his case, he really was, that's another example of he really was very deficient. So a little bit opposite of what you had. I had the same thing you have, where I need father son in my third chakra, because then I don't have to work so hard, because, you know, I'm not compensating for the lack of enough father energy in my third chakra.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so another thing you could do is to get one of the yin yang symbols and put it in your house somewhere. I have a few of my here and there in the house. You know what I mean, the black and the white. So whatever reminders we can have whenever we have them is, you know, and then little things really make a difference. I just finally figured out how to get rid of my mice without killing them, and it's really successful. And I have stressed about this for years because I don't like murdering the mice, but the mice aren't healthy to have either. And it's a bucket that has a top on it that you put peanut butter in, and the mice gets on this little thing and drops the mouse into the bucket. And then I could take then I drive it 5 miles away or something. But that was but that's the kind of thing that suddenly I am able to be a caretaker in a way that I didn't, has changed me because I figured that out, right? Or I'll never forget in my Green Living Day teaching days when I had a woman say that, oh my gosh, she changed her cleaning products in the bathroom, and so she was using my soft scrubber recipe from that other lifetime of mine when I wrote those kinds of books. And suddenly she realized she could have her children in there with her and that she wasn't getting headaches. And then the next thing she knew, she was composting. And then the next thing she knew, she was, you know, being much more careful about her recycling. And it's just like this, all bit by bit, we can heal ourselves in one all you need to do is take one step. And so that, anyway, so with the best of luck to everybody, and wishing you all the best for, returning to this meditation and helping you feel more well-being because of it. So good night, everybody.
Thank you, Annie. Bye, guys.